Hey guys and gals, welcome back to another edition of DeLorean Nation. This is going to be a recap episode of the world's worst DeLorean, which is the burn car that Mike and I showed you a few episodes back. If you guys remember, that burn car also had an extremely rusty frame underneath it. Well, the car that I am sitting in here is one of my personal cars, and this is the car that frame came from. So, long story short with that is I purchased this car from a neighbor lady of mine, who just happened to be walking by my house, saw my other one, and said, "Hey, I have one of those and I need to sell it. Would you happen to know anybody interested?" Well, of course I was interested. So I purchased this car from her. It was in really, really rough shape. The frame was extremely rusty, not safe to drive on. The motor was partially taken apart. The torsion bars and the doors were snapped. The fuel tank was all full of varnish. It was just brakes seized up, you name it, it needed it. The one good thing about this car was the interior was in pretty nice shape, but it was painted black, as you can see in the photo here. So I knew I had my work cut out for me, and this happened to come my way in May of 2020, which was, if you guys remember back, right in the middle of COVID. So thought, hey, this would be a great COVID project. So got together with Mike. Mike and I exchanged frames and suspensions. So I took the frame and suspension from this car and swapped it with him for the frame and suspension from the burn car, and we made one car out of it. And anyways, long story short, this car went through quite a transformation and basically got restored back to stock, from being a black car and being obviously in extremely bad shape. Drove it around as a stock DeLorean for the better part of a summer, and then we decided to build a time machine with it because it wasn't perfect. You know, I did a really nice job regraining it and got it looking pretty good, but the stainless wasn't perfect on it. And if there was ever going to be a car that was a good candidate for a time machine, this was definitely one of them, just from where it came from. So, long story short, here's some photos of it now, all completed. And it's come a long ways. So, going back to the other car, the world's worst DeLorean, which is the other half of this one, has 3 cars that have been donors to it. My frame and suspension, Mike's burned up body, and Josh Shattenkirk donated some panels for it that were painted red. So go ahead and enjoy this video. Mike's going to tell you what that car is up to now and where it's off to. Enjoy.
So this is about 3 hours of Victor, Josh, and I kind of trying to complete this car. We put all the red sheet metal on it, so the left front, the hood, the rear quarter, throw a used louver on there. Had a T-panel and doors on it, this right rear and this right front. So the plan on this car was to, we even threw a windshield on it quick, kind of over the other one, and duct taped it in. The plan on this one was to get all the large pieces in it so the guy could try to save on shipping, and he's looking to keep the import duties down on bringing this thing into Australia, so you're kind of better off in a way starting with a cheaper car instead of paying all that tax. Got a front and rear fascia in here, set of headliners, some windshield trim. But like I said, this thing's headed to Australia for a new life. And not the prettiest thing, of course, but there is some kind of its own personality with this car. And it'll be cool to see what somebody can do with it. So hopefully we get updated from its new owner. But we'll shortly be loading this thing up on its transporter, and she'll be off to new owner. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching.